in, sports family. Also, go to all social media platforms. Link will be in the description. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Thank you. Yo, what's good, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Matchmakers. And as y'all see, I'm supposed to have DEA coach. I already talked to him. He said give him a few minutes. So when we get on, we definitely gonna talk about their success so far. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it. Y'all already know, man. Y'all got something to say. Definitely leave some comments in the comment section, and y'all know it's gonna get read. Appreciate those who are already in the building. So until Coach come, I want to talk about the RDU versus CDJ game, the 12U, and I just want to give my prediction. I don't know if they play this week or is it next week, but from what I've seen, because I haven't been able to break down the RDU game, what I've seen so far, because I wanted to wait to today to talk about 12U. So what I seen so far, I seen that first of all, I want to give Coach Reggie all the credit in the world. Coach Reggie is literally playing like with a different team, a whole different team, except for he got the people like Meaty, he got Key, he got a few other players that stayed, but they basically have a whole different roster, and he's still making the noise that he's making. So I commend Coach Reggie. I wish him the most success, and I think that he will still end up in the championship because they have some really good players. And I don't know if this is breaking news to y'all, but it's definitely breaking news to me. Did y'all know that the New Orleans, the Louisiana Grizzlies, did y'all know that they broke up? I didn't know that. I basically just found that out. Coach, what up? What up? Hey, man, I meant to say what up yesterday too, Coach, but I could not find an opening, while other coach was talking. So, I was just like, once I got too far in the comment section, I just totally forgot to say it. But I appreciate you being in the live yesterday. But the Louisiana Grizzlies that has Stanka and a whole other bunch of players on there, they're supposed to be no longer. And some of them, I believe, like 3 or 4 of the players that played on that team end up going to the RDU, the Real Deal. I don't know if they Real Deal University, but they end up going to them. And Coach Reggie, like I said, they playing with a different group of kids, and they look good. They definitely look good. But I have to have a breakdown between them and CDJ, Dream Chasers. So from what I seen, right, I like both teams. Hilton Holloway was good. One of those coaches on RDU staff. Oh yeah. What's up, coach? But yeah, man, that's definitely gonna be a good game. What up, Coach Day Day? That's definitely gonna be a good game. And like I said, man, I take my hats off to the staff and Coach Reggie because, like I said, man, they playing with a whole different group, and the success that they're having so far. And I see how stingy they are on defense. Now, them versus CDJ, y'all already know that I chose RDU to win that game. And Sports Fanatic, which is a gentleman that's going to be on a little bit later along with the coach, he had CDJ. Now, I still have RDU winning, but I need, and trust me when I say this, I need RDU to make this adjustment. They have to do better on the slants. The plantation team was having a lot of success on the inside. Like they were doing good on the slants. Now, the reason why I said that they have to do well, because I seen CDJ Dream Chasers have a lot of success running that route in doing, running slant routes and having a lot of success. So if you had a team like the Plantation, which is a good team, right? I believe that they're ranked at least in the top 15. So if you have a team like that, that's having that success, and then somebody like CD Dream Chasers who's having who actually, is way better and having a much better season, you know what I'm saying? If you allow them to do that, then I feel like it's going to be a lot of trouble. I think you guys are really good on the run. I think you guys are really good on just, the cornerback in general, just defense in general. But that slant, they have to fix that, because like I said, if they're successful on that, then I see CD Dream Chasers winning. But if you guys are able to cut that off, you know what I'm saying, and just worry about Big Boy, I definitely see that there's going to be, you know what I'm saying, like there's going to be a long, tough road for CDJ Dream Chasers, even though they are also stingy on defense. So it's going to be, I see for that game, it's going to be a matter of who uh who has the best field advantage throughout the game. Because I don't see neither team going 80 yards to score a touchdown unless it's like a play to where they score, run about 50, 60 yards or something like that. But I don't really see that happening. Like I said, with both teams being equally good on defense, and one could be potent on offense as well. I just don't see that. But that's just, my thing. Partially my thing for that game, because I'm excited about it. I want to see it. It must happen. I believe it's going to happen, that they're on the schedule, and we got to make it. We got to do it. He says, we on it, fine tuning this machine. Yeah, and that's the thing too. That's why I'm always for teams playing later on in the season. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're playing in the beginning, like I always say, you have to find the identity of the team. What makes the team go? What's the weakness of the team and all that stuff. And I believe that you really only find that in the middle or towards the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Coach Dede says special team is going to be key, like in most youth games. Exactly. And that's why I say the field position is really going to matter in that game. So if you got like a team like RDU who can pin a CDJ, at their own territory, I believe that that'll be in a full advantage of RDU, because like I say, I don't believe no team is going to go 80 yards on RDU. I don't believe none. What do I have to score? Honestly, I believe it's a close score. I probably say probably about either like 13 to 12, but I'm not giving them no more points than that. 18 is the max, but I have it like 13, 12 or 16, 18 in favor of RDU. That's what I have it, but like I really don't even see that much scoring going on in that game, because like I say, it's going to be just a matter of field position, who's imposing they will, who's doing, the X and O's, the way that it's drawn up to do it, to be done, like that type of stuff. Outside of that, if the players are missing assignments and stuff like that, whichever team had a player that's missing assignment is going to be the team that suffered defeat. And now, and I'm just going to say it like that. So whoever's the most disciplined, I believe is going to take away the victory. Who's going to go home victorious. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. But yeah, man, I'm definitely excited about that game. And then y'all already know that the Falcons United, they have a good game coming up as well. Not this week, but next week. They end up playing, I believe they're going to play SRT, which is another team that's really good. And the confidence of FU, is pretty scary. And like I said, some people disagree, but I believe this. I believe that FU didn't even really have a good game versus Lauderhill Lions. I believe that they left a lot on the table. You know, for those who watched the stream yesterday, you know, they heard me say that same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what it is. But hey, is there anything that y'all want to say to the coach? Oh, hold on. I got coach right here. 1 second. What's up, coach?
Hey, you want me to go into my computer and do this or what?
Yeah, it'll be best if you go on the computer because you get maximum service.
Okay, so I'm about to, and that's the app thing, the stream app thing, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I just sent it to my email. Waiting on it to go through. Once it goes through, I'll lock it.
Okay. All right. I'm on here. I'm on it. I'm on here boring them to death. So they on here.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been thinking about coming on here just a little bit more than 3 days, man, because I feel like I got so much stuff that I want to get off my chest. Okay, we got the mob in the building too. Okay. Okay, so all right, we got Coach on right now. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
What's good, man? I'm looking real yellow right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot of lemon and stuff going on, man. What's good though? Nice to meet you.
Oh yeah, man. Same, man. I like I say, man. I appreciate you being on here. And hold on 1 second. Let me make sure all the windows are closed because I don't want to be echoing. But yeah, now I've been seeing the success, man, of the team. I got a chance to meet, you know, some of the kids last season. You know, so y'all, I know y'all 11U, but I end up meeting a lot of the 12Us and stuff like that. And I felt like some of that energy translated and conveyed to y'all. And I believe that you guys are also like one of them teams that people didn't expect to have the amount of success that y'all having now. Could you speak to that and the reason that you feel like y'all having success?
Well, you know, the 12U won nationals last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's 13U now. And, you know, I'm always going to have a sentimental part to that because that was something we thought of. I took the Dragons name from the team that I played with out here called the Beckley Saint Dragons when I was a youth. And growing up, even though I was a suburb kid, my dad always brought me back into the hood in the Beckley area and had me playing around with the best competition. At that point in time, it was all Pop Warner. And we never had enough money. We were the number one team a couple years. 2 or 3 guys that went Division I, actually about 5 or 6 altogether. But we never had enough money to make it to nationals. And so, you know, when you have a bucket list of things that you've done in your life, this was one of them. I've coached on the high school level. I've grad assisted on the college level. And this was an opportunity for me to come down after seeing so many kids and admiring so many kids of kind of sitting behind the scenes for almost 2 years, man, looking at kids and which group you wanted to deal with. And to have it happen in 1 year, put the kids together, and it really was like a building opportunity. This kid right here, Ethan Feaster, man, Booby, he's special.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's some other kids around him that can play, but I need a kid. I need a corner. I need this kid. I need this kid. And to build or draft a team, primarily with kids in, you know, North Texas and Northeast or Northwest Louisiana, was a dope situation to have happen. All those kids come together and we win a national title playing against the most elite competition in the world for youth football and battle in the first year. That was dope. So to do it again this year, we pushed the envelope a little bit more, Ken. I mean, being honest with you, we didn't have the same nucleus starting off. Like last year, we had a nucleus of Crimson Tide because we brought in Coach Quan from Crimson Tide, and they had won a youth football national championship a couple years beforehand in UYFL. And then we brought in a nucleus of DFW Elite who had won a national championship a year after them.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we literally brought in ones, twos, 1 kid here, 3 kids here, 1 kid here, 2 here. And then by the end of July, we started getting blessed with, a Pac Prime group of about 6 kids from Pac Prime, who was the most dominant team in 12U in the Texas area last year, 11U last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that kind of remind me of the Falcons United. So that's kind of like a similar situation. So now they kind of got the the cream of the crop. And it's meshing very well. It just takes some coaching.
You got to do it.
To make sure.
You got to do it on the 12 and 13U level. I don't know if you can do it on 10 and 9, 8, because it's so much me in football.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much me. Every kid still wants to have the ball every play. But when you start, and hats off to Brandon Morton and what they're doing, and Tone and what they're doing, it's so many really, really good men coaching 13U football and even 12U football. And they pushing the envelope, man. Motherfucker can't rest. Excuse my French.
No, go ahead. Nah.
You got to be on your shit. You got to be on your shit, and it makes the kids not even be able to have. You can't be complacent because all these teams saw our blueprint last year and went back and said nobody's leaving, and we're adding more. We're going to even get better at coaching. We're going to study more, and people started sacrificing. Where in other years, ABA, East Metro, and RDU wouldn't have done that. I mean, FU wouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But on that 13U level, everybody kind of comes to be Morton this year, and look what they have. IB Braves, it's only them and Wilmington really on that 13U level. So, and Tone pretty much has the pick of what he wants in Southern California, from what I understand. So, and then same thing in Florida. Florida probably has more of a, like, you can't get all of them. I can't get all of them. But look how fertile Florida is. You got to come together, bro. You got to come together on 12 and 13U if you want to have a chance at winning, because these guys can coach, and it's a lot of good players.
Right. I'm from Oakland, California, and I had a discussion with my cousin. He's the president for Oakland Dynamites.
Okay.
And we was talking about the top 3 teams as far as for the 13U level, and he had the IB Braves first, number 1. Then he had Lauderhill Lions, and then Falcons United. So I was telling him, just knowing the caliber of players that Falcons United now has, I don't see that being the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though IB Braves lost, I still think that they're a good team, and I want to see that game. But if they actually had a game, who do you see winning and why?
I think the hardest team to play against right now, man, has to be FU. Tone them, man, they just force so many damn turnovers against us. But we don't fear them. You know what I'm saying? We don't fear them. It just we just, like, they forced 10 turnovers in 2 games against us, and we're 1-1. Lauderhill, I think we were the better team. I think we just weren't mentally tough, and they came out and got a kickoff return on us, and that's just me as a head coach. I didn't have those kids at that point in time ready to be able to take a punch and still keep on swinging as we have to do on this level. And then you look at Brandon's team. Brandon has a quarterback that can thread the needle. He can put the ball through a needle hole. He's not as unathletic as you would think he would be, being a pocket passer. He can move a little bit. They have size out wide. They have slot receivers inside. They make you, and then they have 2 or 3 different running backs. And then they got a 6'3" or something middle linebacker. They are an SEC team that I would say would give the other 2 teams the most amount of problems, because you got to respect the passing game. But then, God dog, that Hercules running that ball, man, he run through bullshit. He run through arm tackle. He runs through people. He reminds me of Keyshawn Jackson we had last year, who won the MVP. They don't go down off soft tackling kids.
Right.
If you don't come with an intention of hitting him, he's going to bounce off of it. He's going to shed tacklers. And he's going to make an average run of 5 yards be a 13-yard run in the first quarter, and it's going to be a touchdown in the third and fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna get to the I'm gonna get to the 12U too as well. You know, because like, man, I'm very like shocked. I'm gonna say shocked how well they doing it and how they been putting, the people, the teams that they consider the big dogs, how they kind of just went and just did their thing in the tournament. So I just want to talk a little bit just more about this 13U. So did you feel like you made that y'all was able to make the proper adjustment since that Lauderhill loss?
On 13U?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, our team was somewhat fragile, man, and because you haven't lost. Anybody's confidence is going to get shaken a little bit when you never lost. Like, I had never lost a youth football game in my life up until I lost to Tone. I can accredit a lot of it going to 3 turnovers and my first 3 drives of the game. But at the same point in time, and not having a couple kids there, but that's life. So you shake back from that. Our biggest problem on 13U is not our talent. It is our ability to be able to respond to and have perseverance through difficult times, adversity. And that's a process we have to go through. You have to play games in order to get out of that. And so that's what we're doing right now, but we're working in silence, which is good. It's really, real good.
So I was informed. I don't know how true it is, so that's why I'm asking and reiterating to you. I was told that a lot of the players don't travel. They're able to play like the home games that's on your team for the 13U. Is that true? Is that to be the case, or
no?
Everybody has traveled.
No, it's just the fact of it is, man. We had turnover of. I don't play high school kids, so our high school kids wouldn't have been able to play anyway because most of our kids are on varsity right now, who are freshmen. So if a kid's a freshman, even though he's eligible age-wise, we don't play him. We let them go be great at the high school. That's just my philosophy on football. Some teams are doing it right now, and and that'll come out if they're playing those kids and those kids are on JV. You'll find out in December.
Okay, so that's just to be clear, that's against the rules, right?
That's against the rules. They can't play JV. They can't even play against a JV team. They can't even play against a sophomore team.
Okay.
So, and I'm sure some people are doing that right now, but you're jockeying for a position, and then you'll deal with that when you get to it. Who cares from a standpoint of it? On my end of it, I'm just saying that's what I believe is best for the kid at DEA. We let them go. We let them go be with high school coaches. 2 or 3 of them are starting as freshmen on varsity in Texas high school football. So we had 3 or 4 kids that were that way, and then we had 13 other kids, 11 of them being starters who didn't come back.
Oh,
didn't come back. And so a couple of them, man, I call it the banquet circuit. You won nationals, you riding high. We go to this. I'm an Under Armour All-American, everything. And then it's sort of like it's a box checked off from a standpoint of Michael Jordan. He said, "There's nothing else for me to compete against." So if you are a Peyton Houston and you are Under Armour All-American, you're going to be playing the Under Armour All-American game. That's a box checked off. You are going to all these quarterback camps. And over the summer, you receive 4 or 5 Division I offers, SEC, Big 12, and HBCUs. What exactly are you playing Little League football for anymore is a question that might come up. If you're Ethan Feaster, he wants to be the number 1 recruit and to be one of the highest earning NIL players ever by the time he is a freshman or a sophomore in high school. And so, and I'm a team. It's no I, it's no me, it's all we. And he got 8 offers, man. This kid might have, if he played DB, I think he'd have 20 right now. I tell him that all the time. And so I'm so happy for him and what all he's been able to accomplish. I know it's a lot of work that he and his father and his mother and sacrifices his parents have done. He's an Under Armour All-American. And Braylon Huglund, Other guys, these guys have offers already. And they're in 8th grade. So when you go without having 11 starters off a Division 1, but off a national championship team, your team won't be the same. You might have to create a new identity. And the hard part about creating the identity is you have to find the identity. We had to find identity going up against 2 nationally ranked teams in our first 3 games. So it's hard. And that's why these months right now are good for us, because we're able to kind of go back to the drawing board, to kind of decompress and then work more in silence, which is where you get it out the mud more than just being more in the public eye.
So what you just explained is the circumstances for the 13U is the same circumstances for RDU. They lost literally lost everybody. And like I said, man, I commend Coach Reggie, because he's literally taking a whole totally new group, because he got the meaties, he got the key, he got a couple of more other players, right, that's on the team. But far as for the core, it's like all of them are gone. Some of them are with the middle school, they playing the middle school ball. So he's trying to figure out the identity, but the shocker out of all that mess that happened, far as with y'all in the victory, I would say y'all versus the OG Ducks, because the OG Ducks, they kind of bullied everybody. And I had Coach on here and I asked him, I said, look, do you think that you guys hit a snag to where, now that you guys were able to bully everybody last season, and now everybody caught up to y'all size, and, and they played just as well? Do you feel like that was a factor? He said, yeah, he gave his hats off to you, in the team, because he just felt like y'all did the better job, and he just got to go back to the drawing board, So like, since they had their identity in the players that they played with, that was more shocking for me, because, Coach Reggie, even though they won it last year, they had a whole different identity.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, man. When you go 5, 6, 7, 8, like Reggie and them started at 8, right? When they got that group with ABA. When you go 8 to 11, CJ Cypher was the baddest. I mean, I stalked him. I'm dead serious. Like for CCE, I found him on Instagram, and I was saying, man, this dude is doing like 7-step drops. He's doing play action. He's throwing corner routes on time. He was so far above and beyond himself as an 8-year-old quarterback. And he's going to be he's going to be just like Jew. I mean, they train together. He's going to have the same trajectory. Right now, he's in one of those ruts right now where he's waiting for that juice to come in him all the way. That real good growth spurt, that real good with the body changes and everything. He's waiting on that. And you have that at that 11U age group. And so I think with Reggie and them, this was the perfect time to have a turnover at 11, because some kids who are real good at 8, 9, and 10, they might still be good, but they're physically not dominant anymore because they haven't got that juice. And then it was a couple kids who were so good. And then they just kept doing this, and you never thought about them at 8, 9, and 10. And then all of a sudden, at 11 and 12, you get a man who is a man-child. And now he is the top. He is the guy of that RDU team in there too. So I think that Reggie has done a great job, he and Carlos, of recruiting a lot of athletic ass tough kids to be on that team. Because if you look at the game against OG Ducks last year, they were the smaller team for the first time in 3 or 4 years. OG Ducks were bigger. They were more physical. They handled them on the line. So what Reggie and Carlos and them did, when they got a bully at running back in Boogie, and then they went and got athletic linebacker type kids. So you look at their team, they got a lot of athletic kids. They're not necessarily as skilled as Hands was and those other guys, but they're just as for what RDU is going to do. RDU is going to want I-backs come downhill. OG Ducks are going to go a Marriott. They're going to go 2 tight ends. They're going to go 2 backs. They're going to go to the receivers a little bit, but they're going to run and they're going to make you pick your poison. You want the back? Bam, there's the quarterback. You think about the quarterback, ball's gone. And they were pulling linemen at a higher level than anybody else was at 11 years old. So as you get older, teams get better at taking on pulling and recognizing how to do it. That could be a situation to it. And I think that they're still a top 5 team in my eyes. They got too many weapons. Number one, Patterson is the truth. 9, 7, 6 are all Division I prospects in the next 4 years. I just think that we are a very physical team, man. And until you play against us, you'll never understand how physical we really are until you really play against us. And that's not a braggadocious thing. That's a situation where I can assess this team and say it's going to be hard to out-hit us. That's not the game you want to play against us, is trying to out-hit us. I think that's a game that you're going to lose trying to play that. This team is built around physicality and hurting people.
And that's what I stated earlier. When I first heard about you guys beating them, I said, maybe DEA this year, because from what I see and I'm looking, I said DEA, they're looking like the last year's OG Ducks, because now the physicality is matched. They came in, they beating the teams that nobody thought they could beat. Now everybody came to the consensus that you guys were number one, and then you guys continue to keep winning. And I was like, yeah, so you guys are looking to me like a mirror image of what OG Ducks was doing last year. Because when they came into that tournament, the RDU tournament, man, they came to handle business. And it was to me, that was the best tournament that they had last year.
Well, that was a gauntlet, man. That was a gauntlet.
Yeah.
That was a damn gauntlet. That was like I don't know, man. I can't even give you some comparisons to it besides saying the word gauntlet. Like, I don't know. I know that they were supposed to play in the tournament we had, Texas versus California, the next week, and Hilton says he'll see us in December. Of course, everybody gonna see everybody in December, man. Hats off to everybody. Everybody ready to go. Is Hilton RDU or is he OG Ducks?
It's RDU.
RDU, yeah, no doubt. I don't expect it to be no other way, man. But yeah, they went to a gauntlet. So when they won that game, to me, in Georgia, in that heat in Georgia, and they went undefeated the rest of the year, that's why I felt like they should have been the consensus number one. OG Ducks should have been. It's not taking anything away of what Reggie and them did at the end of the year and getting Boogie and how much that changed the dynamic of their team. But OG Ducks went through a hell of Pac Prime was a hell of a team too. Yeah. Pac Prime was a hell of a semifinal game to see, and then go see RDU the same day. I think they both were back same day, 2 games in the same day.
Yeah, and Coach Marty, he wanted to play again, just to get rid of all the confusion. He wanted to play when they won AYF.
Well, Jay did.
Yeah,
LJ
he wanted to play.
Saying that, man. But look here, sometimes let it be done when it's done.
Right. Yeah.
Let it be done when it's done.
But yeah, I definitely wanted to see that game though, man, because with the addition of Boogie, I just felt like like you mentioned already, the physicality was there, and I just thought that he was going to be able to dish out the punishment that that they were dishing out at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to see how it was, because when I seen them, and that's why I know the experience it matters. When I seen them in the championship, when they were losing to the Birmingham Chargers, and all of a sudden that DNA, that championship DNA just kicked in. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like playing for everything. You know what I'm saying? You were gonna get the best of every team, every player, and stuff like that. And then the other thing, since it's the new year now, I can say this. I just knew that the Spivies and the Cheeses and even Hands, a lot of them were actually hurt before that game even started. So I just wanted to see the game again.
Oh no,
You know?
anybody who's not coaching in it, you want to see it, but but
Yeah.
It ended in a fairy tale way though, man. Both teams got a national championship trophy, and then I was able to have both of them come out here and play, and I don't think they understand it or not, man. But I you know I don't do a lot. We don't do it at DA. We don't do a lot of coaches. Don't do a lot of talking at all. But my hats go off to Reggie and Carlos on what they've been able to do over 4 or 5 years. Walking up to teams is hard. Parents are difficult. Kids are difficult. And egos are even more difficult. And then with LJ and them, kind of had to regroup with COVID that year. And I remember, I've been knowing LJ like 2 or 3 years now. And then to put that team together, how he put it together and run that gauntlet, that was a learning opportunity for me on being able to try to build a team. Like, so sometimes if you don't give credit to people who you look at, and I went and watched the Louisville Chargers. I flew to Florida just to watch the Louisville Chargers play in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody asked a question. When are y'all going to play when are y'all going to play the OG Ducks again?
Probably in the second round of or either in the championship of battle.
Right. Yeah. I got my other guy, Sports Fanatic, who's getting ready to also come on, because he wanted to ask some questions, just to get his perspective. But what's up, Sports Fanatic?
How you doing, Coach?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
Doing real good, man. Watching the interview the whole time, man. One thing I don't know if this was asked, and it shouldn't be, because I've been watching. Did you think you guys would be here
in battle?
Did you guys
just like beating the team
rankings, and the number ones and all of that? Before the season, nobody talked about you. Nobody had y'all on the radar. Did you believe that y'all would be here as fast as y'all got here?
I thought so. I mean, Texas, Georgia, California, Florida. If you have an opportunity of getting some of the best kids in that city or in that state, you're always going to have a puncher's chance at it. I think we do a real good job of working hard in the off season. We're with our 13U last year, we CrossFit, man, for 4 or 5 months. So we were picking people and moving them around last year. And we'll start doing that with the babies in the next couple of weeks as well, of trying to have them do some workouts 3 days a week that'll get them stronger, and so that we can see some impact on people when we get down to Florida in December. It's just about growing kids, and I think we do a good job of trying to assemble kids and then grow them. And what I mean by grow them, just as a mentality. Football, a lot of people teach X's and O's, and a lot of people want to teach the best release. I want to teach the heart. I want to teach the mind. I want to teach the grind, because I've seen more people with the grind and the heart. Those are the hardest ones to stop whenever they get their mindset, whenever their heart's into it. We all can work to get some form of speed. We all can work to some form of release. But the things that you cannot measure, if you can get those things stronger in kids, those things equivalent to more championships than it does how many plays you have in your playbook.
Hey, Coach, so I've talked about a couple of teams. So one of the teams I don't want to leave out is my guy with Coach Al, the Maryland Heat, aka the Mob.
They tough,
so do you guys have them on your schedule?
We already played them.
Oh, you already played them? So what was the outcome of that? I didn't get a chance to see them.
I want to say 14-8.
Okay, so what was your assessment of the game?
We dominated them. I know Al will say different. They got a touchdown. We put a couple guys in the game and went up for a ball, and another safety said it's my ball. And so he hits his own man, and the ball ricochets, and they catch it for their touchdown. I think we limited him to less than 4 first downs, and we out hit him. Other teams go off yardage, and I go off of physicality into it. And so We're going to be putting out a video soon, and the video is going to be showing our physicality versus other teams' physicality, and you will see what transfers. And our physicality, I think, transfers into it. So that's our thing to it. Like we want to be in the. Did y'all ever see that thing in the Asian culture when they were fighting in the phone booth?
No, I haven't seen it.
Coach.
That's gonna be my next speech to the kids. Is that I want to see who want to get in the phone booth and fight somebody in the phone booth. If you watch it, and if you type it in your computers now, you say, fight in the phone booth, you'll be able to see it. It takes somebody who has a different kind of mindset to even get in there. And then they don't just let you get out. You just can't just get out.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get pulled. You gotta get you're escorted out,
right,
on a stretcher out in there to it. And so that's the mindset in a legal way we want to be able to chart plays with. I want to chart plays with who's going to be mentally toughest and who's going to be physically as dominant. And if we can do that on a play-to-play basis, we'll win every game we play this year. We'll win it.
Quick question, Coach. Do you feel like that's what separates your team? It's the physicality, or you think it's some other things?
Oh, no doubt. We don't have we got some really good players, but it's other guys. They talk about it quarterback more than they talk about our quarterbacks. Our quarterbacks do a good job for us. It's a lot of great running backs. I think we have 3 of them though. I think with Stanka coming over and Jeremiah.
Oh, so they did break up, because I did when I first started this live, right, this show. I said that it was breaking news that the Louisiana Grizzlies is no longer a team, and so
that's accredited to Hilton and Reggie and Carlos. I told you those guys are the masterminds of everything. That's how you win 4 national titles. They took Eastern Royal and a couple other kids from that team, and then Coach was just having some. It wasn't as the participation wasn't what it needed to be for them to try to play on a national level,
right?
And the opportunity presented itself for us to be able to get some of their players that could help our team go to another level. And
I didn't know y'all had Stanka.
We got like 4 other ones. We got some real good acquisitions, man, at the wire that are going to help us out on being better as a team.
See, I think Sports Fanatic, he watches the younger. See, this is my age.
Yeah.
This is I'm more knowledgeable about y'all age group and stuff like that. So Stanka is one of the guys that I actually did a comparison. I did the video between him and Spivey. And and I actually had to go with Stanka because I felt like he was one of the kids that was able to do more with less.
Mm-hmm. He's a Percy Harvin to me.
You got him playing at the wide receiver position?
No, but Percy Harvin was toting the rock too, though. Yeah. The ball get in his hands, wherever you put it in his hands. That first guy doesn't get him. He runs with an asshole mentality for a little kid. Like he's gonna try to finish runs as if he's 200 pounds. And that's what you got to love about him. I think that's why so many people admire him, because he has, we didn't have a running back that could be a small hole, big play guy. Jeremiah is Jeremiah. Like hard, you get your lunch pail. You got to hit this guy. You better hope you get him before he gets started. He's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher. And then you got Neiman, who, if you see him, we all have played this game before. If you see him hit people, it would make you think twice about going up there to hit him because he's not going to shy away from the contact. And so unless you're that same type of killer, it's really not in your best interest to try to go up there and hit him. And so you will see Neiman get a lot of runs because I think that kids are smart. And they just like, let somebody else get to him, and some of his runs, he goes untouched. because I don't think they have the desire to hit that kid, because he is really, really different in a mindset of playing football than anybody else I've ever coached before.
So, Coach, which game was harder for you that you feel was more competitive versus the OG Ducks? Actually, OG Ducks, the Mob, and what's the other one? And RDU. Which one you feel like was the toughest?
I think you can't say it that way. You got to say it in the way, given the circumstances of the game. How was the game? You know, the RDU game was the hardest because we had to win that one first. And we couldn't even focus on OG Ducks. You know, you had to focus all on RDU. And then, as you said before, man, champions don't lay down. And then I got nervous as hell because none of our kids had ever beaten Reggie and an Atlanta team before.
Mm-hmm.
We had nobody on our roster that ever beat an Atlanta kid before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so with that being said, that makes you a little nervous because the man said, "Hey, I'm undefeated in Texas," and he meant that. And then they got 4 titles, and so when we had the fumble and it kicked back and they got the ball at the 5-yard line, you're like, "Oh shit," you know what I'm saying? Here it goes. So that nervousness in that game was that, but we played really well against them defensively.
Yeah, so you stopped being nervous when y'all got that interception at the last minute.
Well, I felt like we did a really good job of preparing for them defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Like they never threatened us of scoring in a drive against us. I felt like we all, if we had 40 yards of distance between the goal line, they weren't going to score. That's what we felt like in there. They still had man. You got to respect them. He can catch one and go. Number one is the same way. They have some weapons, but we felt confident. With OG Ducks coming in, you know, we just get through playing RDU, or your kid's going to be mentally tough enough to turn back around and now flip the switch? Are they going to be mentally alert enough to be able to take in a game plan you're putting in the day of? Because we did not practice for OG Ducks not one day beforehand, besides in the off season. And so we put all that stuff in that day on the field. We huddled around and we were putting in things. This is what we're going to do. And to see those kids take it, to be able to motion, to lock in the box. We gave up a couple big plays, some stupid plays too. But I was proud of them in how they played, because the OG Ducks have a passing attack. They have a 2-headed monster quarterback. They have a 2-headed monster running back situation. And then they have a tight end. If you look on the national scene, there's never been a kid as dominant as Isaiah Patterson at tight end ever that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, running kickoffs back and catching a slant, going 70 yards. And then you have to turn around and block the sucker on dang defense. So those 2 games, man, it's definitely going to help us out with momentum going into nationals. So they're equal. And then, you know, pound for pound, those little suckers at Maryland, DMV, them some little tough little rascals there, man. They are tough.
Yeah, K2 and all them. Yeah,
they are tough. They are tough. I like how Al and them got some goons. They got some goons. I just think we're a better team than them. Yeah. So tell me this, man. You guys doing your show. I watched the show. Y'all tell me this. Tell me what do you think about the teams that are in there right now and how they should be seeded? And do you think it's any kind of favorites based off of matchups? Or what are some of the matchups you want to see?
To be honest, like now I want to see y'all play. You go first if you want to, Sports Fanatic.
Well, you know who I like. He know who I like.
All right, go ahead.
He know I like Central DeKalb.
Okay.
I like CDJ. I think CDJ is one of those well-balanced teams that has a dynamic offense and they have a dynamic defense. And what I think separates them is that they're just coming along, right? At the beginning of the season, they started out kind of slow, and now they're just long. And I think once they get a full head of steam, they're going to be a hard team for anybody. What I like about DEA, I think y'all defense is unmatched, all right? I think y'all defense is unmatched, and I think the offense is slowly coming along. So I feel like I would love to see that powerhouse defense go against an offense like a Central DeKalb. So I think DEA, Central DeKalb, and RDU, because they just find ways to win. RDU always find a way to win. I think those three teams are going to be the teams that's there at the end.
You see the Super Bowl that year when Kansas City went with their young phenom quarterback and they played against Belichick and his defense?
Against Belichick and his defense. Absolutely.
You know what always travels?
Defense travels well.
Defense travels, man.
Defense travels well. I agree. I can't wait.
Hard hit in the summer makes you think. A hard hit in the winter makes you quit.
So I think we got to throw IB Braves back in this 12U back in the discussion.
Well, no doubt. They're the best team in California.
Yeah, since they beat the OG Ducks and the OC Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far as with me, man, I don't have the CD Dream Chasers. I think they're top 5 now, for real. I definitely think they're top 5. But like I think that everybody agreed that you guys are the number 1 team at this current moment. Okay. I think RDU is number 2. Well, I had the OG Ducks at number 2, but now since they lost, I gotta really just put them in the top 10. So they probably like, the 7 to me right now. So I'm gonna go with. Matter of fact, man, I just changed it. I gotta put the CD Dream Chasers. Because I just think that they have everything, that it requires for a team to be, elite. So they got passing game. They got running back. They can play the bully ball. They got a finesse game. They got number 4 who can actually play the receiver position, and he can run the ball. Like, I think he's honestly their best running back. A lot of people keep giving me pushback on that. But I think he's the best running back. And I think that they are good on the screen pass. You know what I'm saying? So defensively, I believe that they're just like you guys, they're also stingy on defense. So between you guys, the mob, as far as the defensive team, you guys, mob, RDU is a real defensive team. I just believe that with them, the main thing that they have to change and correct is letting people go in the inside on the slant ball. If they correct that, I believe that they making it to the championship at the end of the season. YNC. So
I would like to be able to see my matchups outside of myself. I would like to be able to see OG Ducks play against RDU. I would like to be able to see the IB Braves. I would like to see them play against the St. Louis Elite. I think that'd be a good game.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A good game for them. I would like to see CDJ play against the mob. I would like to be able to see those games all play out and to be able to see it. And then there's some other teams that are in there, but those 6 teams all have linking verbs in some kind of way to each other, right? St. Louis Elite beat CDJ.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Early. Yep.
We beat the mob. The mob has not played RDU. The mob has not played OG Ducks. The mob has not played CDJ. The mob has not played any of those teams we mentioned in there, in that thing, in there to it. But people still are giving them their respect, partly because of last year. And then those rascals are tough as shit. The St. Louis Elite, they're in there because they got a quality win versus CDJ. IB Braves are in there because they got a quality win against OG Ducks. OG Ducks have a win versus Brick City. Brick City beat IB Braves. So it's some games in there you could be able to see if it were a situation where it was and this is all different for me, man, because last year we fought to get to number 2. We were 2, 3, 4, and it didn't matter. I just want to, when you get in there, you want to be able to get in there, and you really don't want a shitty first round game. You don't want to go against the number 1 team in the first round because you don't know how kids are going to play with a change of venue, change of climate, change of time zones. So that first game you want to have somewhat of not an easy game, but a game that you can be able to sift your way through. Right. But after that, we were only number 1 for the last hour of the game. Dang. We were never number 1 in the country at all last year. So being number 1 this early in the season, people think that you're going to sit on something or whatever. That's never been our mentality. Our mentality is always staying with the plan and trusting our process and not letting anybody else's process be our process. You know, it doesn't make any sense to any human being. So as long as we stay on our process, man, I think we'll be fine. But I think the Braves is going to be a great test game for us because they played against the Arizona champions.
I like that. I like that game. But when I seen that they lost, that game, I was just like, man, Arizona, they showed that they belong. So it's kind of like what you just mentioned, a lot by teams beating other teams, but you know, they showed that they still belong in that conversation. You know, so
everybody has a loss besides us.
Right. And so like the Arizona Sun, the one thing that I seen, because it was kind of like a back and forth thing, and they just showed so much heart, so much poise when they played that game. I was just like, at some point I was like, oh, okay, IB Braves, they gonna win it. Then it's like, nah, they got other plans, you know what I'm saying? So when I seen that game, I was very shocked at the same time, but then it let me know that, you know, it's other teams that's out there, you know, that just need a moment, you know, to play on the big stage that actually good.
And I think AZ lost to, I think they got 2 losses or 1 loss, the champions. I think they lost to Brick City or somebody.
I'm not sure, man.
Yeah, I think they got 1 or 2 losses. So, you know, the big question of it is, man, are the IB Braves closer to the Arizona champions? Are they more of that team with that loss and the loss against Brick City? Or are they more of the team that beat OG Ducks?
I mean, to be honest, I think if they play again, I believe IB Brave win that game. I just think if they play again, I believe IB Brave. Because I believe it's just one of those things when you got players that just think that they already when they go into the game that they already won the game because they think a team go lay down for them, and then you play the team and then you see that they're not going to lay down, but then when you're trying to turn it on, it's just not turning on for you, and it's not as easy as you believe that it was going to be. I think that was one of those cases. Like they thought that they were going to be able to just turn it on and instantaneously, and then just, you know, come out with the victory, and then it turned out to be that way, you know. But yeah, if they play again, I definitely have IB Braves winning.
Man, you're gonna have Mike all in your inbox, man.
Hey, I would love to see the game again. Some games deserve to be rematched. You know what I'm saying? It was a close game. It wasn't like it was a blowout. You know, I would love to see it again. I would definitely love to see it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. So, you know, we got the IB Braves in 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now. We play them in Phoenix. Yeah, so that so that's gonna be an awesome opportunity to really, you know, see in here to see them up front and close and see how good they are.
Yeah, so when I had Coach Martin on here, you know, he was telling me his schedule. It seemed like you got a pretty tough schedule as well.
Right.
Yeah, we had you know, like our schedule was made in February and we weren't ranked in anything because we were a team that was just not getting the sim. Go get in the cage. And I got a puppy running around. But we weren't ranked in anywhere. So, you know, we're looking at a situation of trying to get on get on the scene. So you got OG Ducks. Bam. You're gonna play in the battle event when it comes to Houston. You're playing in the West Johnson Memorial versus the Kansas City Outlaws, who are one of the top 5 teams in the Midwest. You're going to play against Oklahoma City I-35 Jackpot Boys, who are another team who beat the St. Louis Elite, who are in there. You have St. Louis Elite on your schedule. You have RDU on your schedule. You have Alabama Birmingham Chargers on your schedule. You have PME, who won UYFL. You had it was the Suns then, and I think it was supposed to be the Suns and the Champions, 2 of the best teams in Arizona, playing initially on your schedule. So, and then we were playing against some of the top teams in Texas. So when you make that kind of a schedule, you're making a schedule saying we're going to know where we are, pretty much get rich or die trying.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because that's the only way. Because I know some coaches, they have an okay schedule. They play a couple of good teams, right? And then, they try to ride that into the sunset, to the YNC or AYL. And I like what you guys doing. I like what OG Duck's doing, and I like what Coach Reggie and them doing as well. They looking to see where they at, because I think a lot of pressure was off Coach Reggie when they actually lost to the OG Ducks last season, because they were so used to winning, and they were on that 99 game winning streak, and then once they lost, they was able to just play after that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's off of them. They don't really care about winning, far as like playing like the best teams. So now they want to play the best teams, like you said, to see where they at. To see if they the best, because you can't call yourself the best if you not willing to play the best. And that, I think that's been the case for a lot of teams last season, which was the reason why I was like, man, I'm not gonna go to a lot of games, because when teams that are 2 teams that are good playing against each other, one of them end up pulling out of the game for some reason. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I know the reason, and I think it's because they didn't want to, risk taking the loss, so they don't go to the YNC. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, it's hard, man. Anytime you travel, you might not travel with your whole team.
Right.
We're going to travel. We might not have our whole team on 12U or 13U. And so if everybody lives by, I got to be at 100% or I'm not going to go play a quality game, then you're only going to play people in your own city.
Right.
You're never going to play a travel game, because they're going to be afraid to travel against you, and you're going to be afraid to travel against them. And then it's always going to be an excuse inside of there. But Reggie and them didn't have number 90 against us. We didn't have one of our starting linebackers against them. We had to put a defensive end at linebacker for that game that day, because we found out our linebacker wasn't coming. It's not an excuse, but it's the truth. They didn't have number 90. Number 90 changes shit. He's hard as hell to block, and so when you don't have those guys in there to it, you will get people who will say, man, we ain't going.
Right.
Straight up.
So also, man, for those who are in the chat, man, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed to the channel, also subscribe to Sports Fanatic. But like I say, man, we looking to build a community for the coaches and the players to have, you know what I'm saying? So whenever they need to get their voice out there, this is a platform for them. So please accept my invitation to hit the like button and the subscribe button, please, as well. But yeah, Coach, I definitely agree. I think I've actually heard somebody say that they don't want to play because their running back isn't going to be available, because at that time, they were going on vacation, so they didn't want to play that game. So now I definitely agree. But like you said, I think a part of coaching, if you ask me, is really preparing for those type of moments, because let's talk about if we have to face some sort of injury, right?
Yeah.
You have to prepare yourself, you know what I'm saying, for that next individual to come in and have him ready enough to, fulfill that void. So I still think that it still fall on the line of an excuse.
But I think it goes down to, man, if you're a general, do we have to fight the war today? You know what I'm saying? Does the war have to be fought today? If our city or our state is sieged today, damn it, we got to fight the war. But if we only fighting the war because people talking behind microphones and saying or texting saying you should be fighting the war, and you know you're not war ready, don't get yourself pushed into that corner of having to do something so somebody can tell you, man, you had heart or whatever. I grew up, my dad told me a long time ago, man, if somebody has your eye black and you can't see, it's time to go home.
Right.
You regroup and go get his ass another day. It makes no sense if you can't see trying to fight somebody with 2 black eyes. Like, and what are you saying? Oh man, he ain't no hoe. He tough.
Right.
No, if you're not ready, coach, as a team, and you know you're not ready, and it's not a situation. Now, this can't happen in nationals. We're not talking about nationals. You got to play with whatever you got to play with. That's the injury situation. But if you're talking about having a game, and let me give you an example. Brick City. And Brick City called me and said, hey, man, we want to play y'all November 1st. And I got a quarterback, and I talked to 2 other 3 people, and they say, you know what, coach? That weekend, we're having something with a religious thing. None of us will be there. 3 of them not going to be there. I have to make a decision. Is this Brick City game a game that I got to have that weekend? Can I move it up? Can I move it back? I'm not afraid of you. But if I play this game right now, is this the best situation for the other 30 kids to be in without this particular player, without this player, without that player? And most teams have captains for a reason and have leaders for a reason. If you have players that are cornerstone players of your team, they're not there, I can see why somebody wouldn't want to play that game if it was a game that you are negotiating on having. Now, if it's a game that's already on the docket,
on the schedule, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, people that pay plane tickets, you got to go ahead. Trust me, I could have gotten out of the game against IB Braves that way, but we played the game anyway. I could have gotten out the game against Lauderhill. We didn't have all our kids there, but we had to still play that game. We still showed up, and we would have played the next day, but we had one of our coaches on our younger levels get murdered in that situation, and so we had to leave as an organization to go back to Dallas and be to that.
Yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward, to the season. But 12U, man, it is stacked.
It's stacked.
It's stacked, man. And then you got 13U. They don't have as many teams, but they're the team that they have to play that's on a national level are some really good teams.
It's top heavy as hell on 13U.
Yeah. So it's like. For the person that come out on top for that, is going to be a really good victory for each of those teams. So like I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you guys play the IB Braves, I guess, for the 12U level.
Yeah, we got the IB Braves, and we got also the Chandler Gators. They got a good team, LeGarrette Blunt's team. So we got 2, and then we got Chandler Elite Bears on 13U.
Okay, so are there any games that you have or any days that you have available that's possibly open to embrace another game, or you guys?
Yeah, we got an opportunity in mid-October. We're gonna try to do something back in the Louisiana area for those kids that we got on the team playing a game in their home state. So we're trying to work on somebody to get a game so they can play in front of their home crowd. And on their soil. So, you just and like I say before, these are opportunities, man. November is a crazy month for battle because really you think battle really should be in November. They have it in December. Because November is a dead month. It's like you go 3 weeks and you might not even have any games. And then do you want to play a game, get your ass popped? And then you had a 3 seed, and all of a sudden, now you're 8 seed.
You want to know what's crazy is that I mentioned that last year. I mentioned that last season. The ABA Bulldogs, they went literally a whole month without a game.
Yeah.
And then when they played the, I believe it was the East Metro Steelers.
East Metro Steelers, yeah.
They played. Oh man, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. You know what I'm saying? So when you said that, I had to laugh and smile because yes, I told them if people up there getting repetition and they plan every day, every week and getting better, you know what I'm saying? They're going to less likely make more. They're gonna make less mistakes than you are because they already, got that camaraderie, that cohesiveness together. You know what I'm saying? But when you come off, y'all not in tune, the timing off and all that stuff, it mattered. So I had ABA, possibly winning the 11U, but was it 11? 12U. I had them winning the 12U, but then when they took all them days off, I said, nah, I don't even know. I think I might change my mind because they wasn't getting no games. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that matters.
Against everybody 2 or 3 times too, man. I would hate that.
Yeah, that that end up crippling them. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree. So if they're going to do that, they need to make sure that they have some really good games, at towards the end of the month and stuff like that, because you got to stay fine-tuned. It ain't about the losses or none of that stuff, because I think too, the reason why some of the teams are not going to play like the best teams towards the end of that season is because they don't want to get kicked out of the battle, because there was some invitations taken away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I think if we can somehow not punish them for playing the best teams,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Then I think that the best games will continue to happen.
Well, my thing of it is I think we got a real good team. I don't look at it from a standpoint of you being afraid to lose. I don't look at it that way. Somebody might look at it. I just look at it from a standpoint of you're going to have to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like Earl Spence and Crawford finna fight. Do y'all just fight just to fight right now? And then you say, well, doesn't matter who wins. The belts we're going to fight for the belts in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, when we fight, because of how good you are, Crawford, and how good I am, it's for everything.
Right. For undisputed.
Yeah, and if I'm the underdog and I've got 2 losses, then what the hell I got to me? 7, 8. I don't know what he might put me at 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a 2 or 3, you're not worried about who you're playing. You're worried about getting better at certain things to make your team better. Like, let me see a team that can spread you out and throw the ball around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know they can't handle my front, but let me see how my team plays in coverage, because I might see a team in Florida that does that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see a team that has a real good defensive line, because that might be what I'm going to see with this California IB Braves team, and they play this kind of a front. Let me play against this kind of a front. Even though we got better skill guys, I'm going to see if we can block them so that I can get better and get more prepared for our opportunities in Florida. That's what I think most of these coaches, the good ones, are doing. The ones who are the lower seed, they just like a little scrappy, man. I don't know if y'all ever watched Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, a little scrappy dude.
Like, man, let me at him. He's like, man, that's a ghost. He gonna kill you. Like, no, I'll take him. Let me at him. That's the guy who's the 6th seed, the 7th seed, the 8th seed.
Right.
They own there, and I respect it. Like I Coach Davion and everybody else with IB Braves and any other ones that have come on there and shot their shot at playing us. If it makes sense, we do it, because I've been there before. I've been the team who's trying to get on, and Reggie and LJ and Mike and them gave us games, and we hadn't even had a ranking on 12U.
Hey, Coach, this the matchup that wasn't stated that I'm pretty sure that everybody wants to see right here.
No, I think my man, he did say that, right? Didn't you say CD and DEA?
Oh, you said you wanted to see them?
I did.
Yeah, he said that game.
Okay, all right.
I just feel like that everybody who got a loss needs to be a tournament to get to us. That's my thing.
And that I can respect, Coach. I
need to be a tournament to get to us. And I would be willing to be in that tournament if I had a loss. Everybody who got a loss, everybody trying to get to the top of the mountain without working their way up it. To me, y'all need to figure out who this 1, 2, and who this 2, 3, 4, and 5 is.
Right.
Once y'all sip that out, we'll take on whoever it is. That's how it should be.
Right.
It should be CDJ versus the Mob. It should be the St. Louis Elite.
Different team. Different team. But I believe if Ivy Brave played the Golden Army, Ivy Brave beat them by 21.
Oh, you talking on 13U?
Yeah, I think that because I think it's a lot of games that if rematch is going to go totally different. I think some teams just got surprised. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a lot of surprises.
How many turnovers did IB Braves force against Golden Army today? Not many.
I'm not.
Tone them do such a damn good job of forcing turnovers, man. That's got to be a part of they win structure. It's just like us. Our physicality helps us win games, right? To me, the IB Braves, if they're playing a game where it's no turnovers, I don't believe with a team like that Florida team, it's going to be a 6 or 7 point game. Either way, I don't think it's no blowout because Tone them are built off of punishing you and capitalizing off your turnovers. They are a high turnover force team, and then they capitalize off of it.
Well, I guess the unit made them look like they was just a super team then, because they was doing a little bit of everything when they played against them.
What the unit? Who is
that? The unit. I forgot what city that they're from, but they ended up playing them in one of the battle games. But yeah, they beat them. They was beating them. I think it was like 30-0 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, but like it's basically they got the U. It's the U, but I think it's they call it the unit.
Out of Texas?
I believe so. They
Central Texas United.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they played against FU.
Well, this team that the IB Braves played, that they played against, so
IB Braves. I don't know what IB Braves.
The IB Braves that they beat. The team that they beat, man, they just showed that they didn't belong. So they showed me that they could pass, they could do a variety of things. So I might have just took that game, you know what I'm saying, out of its context. The team context, the other team must not been that good or whatever. Right. But I'm thinking since they end up playing, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was actually an Arizona team. I think it may have been an Arizona team, but they got the U. It's like a green team, a green and black team.
I don't know. I can't tell you what team.
But yeah, they matter of fact, they played the day before IB Braves lost to the champions, Arizona champions. They played the day before that. So yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But man, I don't want to hold you too much longer, Coach.
No doubt,
I hope I can, definitely invite you back on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we could talk more X's and O's. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make the stream too much.
I want to go on record right now, both of y'all right now. Who is your 13U champion? Who is your 12U champion? Tell me right now. Who in your championship game?
My 13U is I got Falcons United. If they doing what they supposed to do.
Who they playing against?
I got them playing against
I'm hearing
I'm gonna say just because I want to see the matchup, I'm gonna say them versus IB Braves.
Okay. So you got Southeast versus West. Okay.
Yes.
12U.
So 12U, I got RDU. And I got DEA.
You ain't got to say it because I'm on the phone, man.
Hold on, no. Hold on, Coach.
Then you kind of thought about DEA, man.
Coach. I have DEA at number 1.
Okay.
He does.
I have.
Okay.
I'm saying that I believe that RDU is still going to be in there. I believe that their championship pedigree kicks in and their experience kick in when it comes time for the YNC. That's why I have that. I have you guys at number 1. I said that you guys were basically the new OG Ducks. You know what I'm saying? Before you came, I'm not gonna say something just because the coach is on there. I didn't
No,
already.
I'm messing with you, man.
Hey, yeah, because look, I told OG Duck, Coach Martin, that RDU was gonna win it and beat them if they play them again. You know what I'm saying? Last time they was on, but that's the matchup that I hope to see. I ain't gonna even say hope to see, that I think that I'm going to see. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, like I say, I'm a person that love to see the history. So I would actually like to see them 5-peat. But if they don't, whoever wins, you know, they win at the end of the day. So even if both teams don't go, I'm still happy either way, because it's another young man that got a chance to play for the opportunity to win a championship. So that's how I look at it, because I got no favorites. But go ahead, Sportsman.
I think 13U is a rematch between Falcons United and Lauderhill. And, you know, I've been humbled, so I got to go with Falcons United, because I went with Lauderhill Lions to beat them originally. So I think Falcons United has just shown me that they are just extremely dominant on both sides of the ball. I think on the 12U level, I think it's going to be Central DeKalb, and I think it's going to be RDU. I see Central DeKalb playing. I think Central DeKalb plays DEA. I think Central DeKalb plays DEA based on the rankings. I think they're gonna play y'all in the YNC based on the rankings. I just see them edging y'all, coach. They're gonna edge y'all out in that YNC, man. Because it ain't too cold. It ain't gonna be too cold in December in Florida, man.
We don't want it cold. We the fastest team in the country, man.
So I think they out.
So, Coach, who you see yourself? I know you got yourself in the championship. Who do you see yourself playing? And then also for 13U, who you see in the championship as well?
Man, I think we're going to win it on both levels. If you ask me, is it going to be hard? It's going to be hard as hell on both levels in there to it. Just because you have a 1 tag on one and have a 10 tag on another, it's still the same kind of battle. You can't take anybody lightly. Every game is an opportunity for you to be able to showcase your talents individually and showcase your work ethic and what you've been taught collectively. And it's a greater challenge for the 13U. It's a better story. It's more money to be negotiated on the 13U level if they win it all, because nobody's thinking it, nobody's expecting it. So that's definitely sweeter. But you know, then on the opposite end of it, the 12U is more agony, because people are thinking it, people are saying it in there to it, and so they're it's different stories, man. So if you like stories, you like watching movies, you like the cinematic type of things to it, I like where we are. I like where we are as a 13U staff. It's the hungry side. And then on the 12U side, it's about keeping them hungry. It's about, I ain't feeding you what all you want to eat. I got to keep you to where you recognize. And so, you know, playing an IB Braves game, and I was up to 3:30 in the morning watching film on them. I'm looking forward to. He woke up some juices in me to get ready for him. And so we'll be ready. We'll be prepared. We'll be ready to go. And it'll be fun, man.
Hey,
you know.
Hey, Coach, this person been wanting to ask this question.
What happens? What happens to what?
What happens if they are what happened if they win? I guess I don't know. Hold on. Let me because I got it extra small on my computer. Let me see.
Yeah, he said, what happens if the OG Ducks start winning again?
Yeah,
they're a top 5 team.
Right.
They just, you know, like, rankings are based off of what you did on the field in that game. They got embarrassed by IB Braves. And so you got to drop
12.
The 22-0 is what the game was. That's, you're off the sticks in Little League. You're off the sticks in Madden, 22-0. So, and I'm not saying that to humiliate them. Like, I know I mess with them real hard.
Right.
Have that 22-0 game going in there, man, you can tell your kids a whole bunch of BS. But telling them you're going to come back and beat a team who got you down 22-0 at halftime, half of them then checked out. They don't believe nothing you're saying. Because 22 points to a team as good as the Ducks means that, to me, they took that team lightly.
Right.
That team is good. That team was inspired. That team is well coached. That team got a great quarterback. The team got a big running back. They got some nice receivers, and they jumped on their local buddy's ass. Same thing RDU did last year. I mean, Rare Breed did to RDU last year on 11U in the regular season. Jumped on them.
Right.
You take me a little lightly. You overlooking us. We jump on you. Gave them their third loss of the season. But I believe that they're a better team than the OG Ducks. So if the OG Ducks start winning, they're gonna be one of the top 2 or 3 teams.
Hey, we ain't sleeping on nobody. We just going off what we see so far. Like I said, even though RDU had 2 losses last season, I still thought they was gonna win it. You know what I'm saying? Which turned out to be the case. When OG Ducks went to the AYF, I had them winning it as well. So, but they ain't lost. But it don't matter if a team loses. That I don't base it off that. I base it off far as the coaching, how prepared can they get their kids, and what are they telling them? You know what I'm saying? Are they looking at film? What extent are they going to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes? That's what I based it off of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I talk to a coach and he's saying certain things, that let me know, oh, they ready. They're gonna be ready. You know what I'm saying? Because you're saying everything that a player's supposed to hear and need to hear in order to get over the hump and over the edge. You know what I'm saying? So we're not sleeping on nobody. He just believe in this team.
Right.
I believe that certain teams are going to make it there to be able to compete against his team. I don't have DEA for 13U, but I got them for 12U. And
and what other team would I put down besides us?
Come on, man.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like from my standpoint of it, I respect every coach is saying right now, we're going to win it. But my reality of it is that I recognize that it's a different plight for both teams.
Absolutely.
It's a different plight. And so we just about embracing it, bro. To everybody who commented on here, from you guys who bringing me on, man, it's been great talking about it. I love youth football. It's the reason why I fell in love with football is because of the youth football game to it, man, and why I've tried to submit myself inside of it the last decade or so into it. Hats off to what y'all doing. Absolutely. Hats off to all the parents who had their kids out there. Hats off to all the coaches volunteering their time and being away from their own families and doing it. Hats off to the whole DEA family. And we're around in four different states now. Hats off to everybody in regards to that. Salute to Battle, AYF, everybody in there, all the dignitaries in there to it, man. And it's gonna be fun. And I'll be back at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, we gotta have them on. But yeah, man, like I say, I took too much.
The goal is to have 2 of them.
2. So I kept Coach a little too long, man. I was supposed to bid off myself, but thank you guys for tuning in. That's all I got for now. Any questions that you would like to ask Coach? Coach, get your IG real quick. So
man, I think it's DEA 12U.13U or something like that.
Okay,
yeah, they can hit me on that.
Yeah, so hit them up on that. But yeah, man, thank you. Also, Sports Fanatic, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Also, subscribe to the page before y'all exit. All right, man. I'm out.